Hello guys, welcome to my Siren gameplay, the first thing. And as you can tell, I have other Siren, but it's 41 and 80, another level 80. So let's start a level 1 Siren.
So, you want to hear another story, huh? One where the very fate of Pandora hangs in the balance. If not, too bad, I'm telling you anyway. First, there was the vault, an alien prison opened with a mystical key. To the warriors who opened it, the vault was just a container of tentacles and disappointment. They vanished into the wastelands, certain that the vault held no treasure at all. They were wrong. The vault's opening triggered the growth of iridium, a priceless alien element. Soon, the rare and valuable mineral emerged all across Pandora. Its appearance attracted many, including the Hyperion Corporation. They came to Pandora to mine iridium and bring order to the savage planet. Through their excavations, Hyperion uncovered evidence of an even greater vault. Their leader vowed to find it, to use its power to civilize the borderlands, once and for all. But Hyperion weren't the only ones searching for the next vault's alien power. The call of danger and loot is not so easily resisted. Certain warriors came to Pandora in droves to uncover its hidden secrets. Some would call them adventurers. Others call them fools. But I call them vault hunters. Our story begins with them, and with a man named Handsome Jack.
Alright, well then, like I said, I'm gonna name this one Maya. I like that haircut. Couldn't single really. Darkest blue. Oh, that one actually looks pretty good on her. Also like this one. This one. Name. Yeah. Yeah.
Great. Another dead vault hunter. Handsome Jack's been busy. Wait a minute. You're not dead! Yes! Now I can get off this glacier. Claptrap, your metaphorical ship has finally come in. Allow me to introduce myself. I am a CL4P TP steward bot, but my friends call me Claptrap. Or they would if any of them were still alive, or had existed in the first place. Oh, I've got something for you. Here, take this echo communicator that I totally didn't loot from one of these corpses. It comes with a Class 12 heads-up display, complete with a mini-map. Now, come, friend. Let's get you inside. Man! This is great! Now that I've got the mighty... I can finally join the resistance to sanctuary. Agents against Jack for killing my firefly and repairing my second process.
Oh my god, just shut up.
I'll explain everything soon, but know this.
Yeah.
You're alive for a reason, and I am here to help you.
God damn it. Well, who cares?
Over here! Just a little added security. Gotta keep those bully mongs at bay, or they'll rip your eyes out.
Uh-huh.
A kid in my math class would sleep on his desk. One day the teacher called on him to answer a problem on the chalkboard. He woke up, solved the problem on the board with zero difficulty, and then just went back to sleep. The teacher repeated the same thing a few times with similar results, and then just let him sleep the rest of the year. My history teacher would spend half the class making jokes directed at the students. One student in particular always took the jokes on the chin and never really made any comeback. Eventually, the teacher called him out and jokingly lectured him about standing up for himself. He ended his rant with, "You've got to be a man. You've got to be like me." The student replied with, "Well, which one? Do you want me to be a man or do you want me to be like you?" I've told this story on Reddit before, but this really sad kid that doesn't really speak much was getting picked on by this mean girl when the teacher tells her be nice to him. He might be your boss someday. Without missing a beat, he replies, "No thanks. I don't want to be a pimp when I grow up." D. Well, this one was during coaching classes for entrance exams. The maths teacher reduced a given problem to a simpler form and challenged the students. So this expression doesn't fit any of the given standard forms for us to find the particular integral. So what do you propose we do? A kid from the back shouted, "The next question." This sounds like my entire calculus class my senior year.
I've been waiting for a
Told the
mighty
teacher,
bulldozer to
but
help me
this
reach
happened in an
sanctuary.
upper-level French
I will
class
be
where you
right
can
back.
only speak
And
French.
you shall be
If you
my
speak
medicine.
English, the teacher scolds you in French. My friend walked in a few minutes late for a quiz, and wasn't allowed to take it. My friend looked at the teacher and said, in English, "That's bullshit." The teacher looked back angrily and said, also in English, "What did you just say?" My friend, "En français, monsieur." He got kicked out of the class. In French class we had one guy say to his friend, "Oh, you bastard," right as the
Just
teacher
like to
walked
get
in
this
front
door
of them
open
and the
and
whole
we'll put
class got
ourselves in bully
quiet.
mode.
We thought they were in for it. Instead, she goes, "En français, c'est bâtard."
Onward, seeing eye vengeance. Let me know if I'm
In
gonna
my
run into
chemistry
anything.
class sophomore year, one of my friends was going through some family issues, and his dad just left for a year or so. The kid was acting up in class and the teacher was like, "Do you want me to call your dad?" And he was like, "If he picks up, tell him to come home soon." I had a friend who told the teacher he wasn't going to be able to come to an after-school event. She started shouting at him, telling him that he wouldn't ever make it to college because of how irresponsible he was. When she finally asked why he couldn't come, he replied, "My house burned down." In high school, one of my teachers was having a disagreement with a student. I can't remember what it was about, but finally the teacher asked him if she wanted her to
Stick
call
close
his
to the
mother.
robot.
The
We will
student
help you get off
replied,
this glacier
"Do
and
it
into
then.
the city of
My
Sanctuary.
mama will agree
That
with
is
me
the
too."
only place
The
you
teacher
will
then
be
asks him to leave her class. He goes, "You know what, I'm gonna call my mom for you." He then whips out his cell phone and calls his mom on speaker. "Hey, this teacher wants to talk to you." The whole class just lost it. My wife, when she was in high school, had a PE teacher that pulled this kind of thing. The class was doing some exercises, but my wife kept finishing them faster than the lazier students. So she would be standing around waiting for the rest of the students to finish. The teacher accused her of not doing them. My wife said she had done them, and they argued back and forth a bit. The teacher then decided to call my wife's father to get her in trouble or something. The teacher actually got a hold of him on speakerphone so the whole class could listen. The teacher tells him all about how your daughter says she finished her exercises, but is clearly lying, and won't do more exercises or something. My father-in-law, who was a partner in a very successful business law firm, listens quietly through the whole thing and then responds with, "My normal billing rate is large number of dollars per hour. Don't waste my time with this crap. If my daughter says she did the exercises, then she did them. Don't ever call me again." And then hung up. The teacher immediately told everyone to get back to their exercises for the day, and never brought it up again. I'm not a teacher, but I had a friend in school who was always pretty dramatic. She actually did have IBS though. So we're in this fishy teacher's class and she keeps asking to use the bathroom. The teacher says no. My friend's like, "I have IBS though." And the teacher is like, "Tell me what those initials mean and I will let you go." So she screams it means I have to shit and takes off out of the room. A more common version of this is, "Girl, can I use the bathroom?" Male teacher, "Yes." Girl, picks up bag. Male teacher, "Why do you need your bag to go to the toilet?" I once saw a girl answer something like, "For some of us bleed from our vagina."
Vault Hunter gets killed
I
by
once
me. You see the problem here? You're still alive. So if you could just do me a favor and off yourself, that'd be great. Thanks, Pumpkin.
Question, man, who would be watching this shitty live play of a game?
From our vaginas. Want me to get you proof? He just apologized and never made the same question to anyone again. Not a teacher, but witnessed as students. We had a substitute who was leafing through the yearbook and got to the senior superlative. Our school mascot was the Eagles. She started reading some of it aloud and said, "Oh, that's nice." Our most school-spirited student answered back, "Yeah, because she's always spread eagle." The substitute couldn't keep from laughing, as much as she tried not to. This is sort of a flip from the question.
Ah,
But
yeah,
there was
I'm
this
in bananas.
history teacher I had freshman year of high school who was just always in an amazing mood. We'll call him Mr. Smith. One day everyone is sitting in class waiting for the tardy bell to ring. When the kid sneaks a condom onto the door handle, the bell rings and Mr. Smith walks into the room, grabs the handle to close the door, and pulls the condom off of it. Looks at the condom helmet for a split second and stuffs it into his pocket while saying thanks. "I'll need this later. Thanks, but it's not parents' evening yet." I had a teacher tell a classmate no drinks in class. He got up from his seat, picked up the teacher's drink, and deposited in the garbage with his drink. She sent him to the office. Not me, but a colleague told me this story. It was one of his first years teaching, so he was about 22 to 24 at the time. It was a junior high science class and he told the student to stop messing around and get back to work. The student's response: "I got bishes older than you. All I'm looking at right now is a bish younger than you. Back to work." Our teacher was teaching us about the states of matter, solid, liquid, and gas. He was talking about how a solid you can break into littler pieces, but how you can't do the same to liquids or gases. So I blurt out, "But you can break me." I still talk to that teacher and he says that was the best part of his teaching career. This was in 6th grade. I've taught preschool for years, and one of my favorite dad responses to children who are being whiny just to whine is the "Hi, I'm your teacher." Example: "I'm thirsty." "Hi, thirsty. I'm your teacher." Anyway, one day, after a long week, I sat down to lunch with my class, preschool, remember 4 to 5 year olds, and said to a child, we'll call him Tommy. "Boy, Tommy, I'm really tired today. Without skipping a beat, he swallows his mac and cheese, looks me right in the eyes and says, "Hi, really tired. I'm Tommy." That was the day I knew I had taught him all I could. Let me point out that I'm female since people will assume I'm a guy. I taught in an inner city school. We were talking about prime numbers, so I would have kids give me a number and we'd work out if the number was a prime number on the board. One kid wasn't paying attention, so me being a young teacher I thought I'd catch him off guard and call on him. It went something along the lines of, "Mark, do you have a number? Huh, I need your number. Play it cool, go. We can talk after class." The whole room lost their shit and I turned red from embarrassment. They then laughed at how red I'd gone. My sister, who is a teacher, was taking her kindergarten class through the lunch line. Well, this day was St. Patrick's Day, so there was green cupcakes. My sister told the class, jokingly, "Don't eat too many cupcakes, or you'll turn green." A young black boy looks up at her and says, "Miss Carey, I ain't never seen a green brother before." Had my class of working class kids at an art gallery. As we waited for our tour to begin, we played on the small playground near the door. A prep school kid in a uniform approached two of my boys and said, "I bet I'm smarter than you are." I watched to make sure no blood was drawn. My students can hold their own pretty much anywhere and they don't accept insults casually. But they were cool. "No, you're not. Are you in grade 2? The boy said he was and one of my boys said, "So then we're all grade 2. So we are all grade 2 smart." He went back to climbing the monkey bar. But the prep school kid continued, "I know I'm smarter. Let's do some math and I'll prove it." The toughest kid in my room looked this guy square in the eye and said, "Well, I'm smart enough not to do math when I'm having fun on the playground." Just yesterday actually, one of my classes is fun in that.
Handsome Jack here, offering $1 million to whoever brings me the head of the Vault Hunter who just arrived in Loudersburg. Oh, and I'm still offering a reward for rolling
in that we give each other hard times, but all in good fun and accomplishments. The girl starts giggling uncontrollably for no reason, and she's a bit on her head, so I asked her if she saw something shiny and if that entertained her. Another boy jumps in and says, "Yeah, mister, your head. I'm going for it." I wanted to pretend to be mad, but it was just too damn funny. In HS, our functions and relations teacher would always start to say something, forget it and say, "I lost my train of thought." Well, one day a buddy of mine replies, "It's okay, sir. There were no important passengers on board." Student in my Spanish class was sleeping, like always. Teacher finally got tired of it and tried to embarrass him by waking him up and yell at him in Spanish. The student responded with, "I'm back here minding my own business, not causing any sort of distractions at all, and you decide to stop everyone's learning by trying to make me look stupid. We all know I have no idea what you're saying, so please stop disrupting the class and let me go back to not bothering anyone." She never said another word to him. We had a teacher that would always threaten to phone our home if we were misbehaving, which she promptly stopped asking. "Teacher, what would your mother say if I called home right now?" Student, she would say hello. I wasn't in the class, but my buddy swears that one time his history teacher called a student's mother because he was sleeping in class. He said the teacher got all the parents' numbers at the beginning of the year. I went to a mostly black school, and evidently this kid had one of those stern black moms. Anyway.
When your internet's shitty and it won't set the box, so you have to turn off the fucking Wi-Fi. Then reconnect it again.
Sleep. He quietly told the mom he was sleeping in class and would she like to have a word with him about that. He holds the cell phone to the kid's ear and she ducking goes off. My buddy said you could hear her across the room. That poor kid spent the rest of the day walking the green mile. I can imagine that black mom's voice right now. Boy, have you lost your damn mind? Why are you...
I suppose I am in your debt now, aren't I? Come to my shack and I shall restore Claptrap's sight. First, I shall shut off the electrical fence for you. Please stay back, Vault Hunter. Let Claptrap go first.
I knew Hammerlock would come around eventually. Me and him are like 2 peas in a pod. 2 bullets in a bag. 2 cannibal midgets in a fat guy's ribcage.
Apologies, but when Claptrap speaks, I feel my brain cells committing suicide one by one. I shall be out directly.
A pleasure to meet you, Vault Hunter. I am Sir Hammerlock. At your service. I came out here to research the bully moles for my almanac that Captain Flint's men trapped me on this glacier. Many thanks for disposing of them, by the way. To survive a direct run with Handsome Jack and defeat Captain Flint's bandits. Unheard of. I'm headed to Sanctuary myself. From what I hear, the Crimson Raiders there could use a hero like you. Now, if you could hand me the robot's arm, please. Now, I need only connect this to this. That should do it!
I'm alive!
Oh dear, he's talking again.
Minion! Now I've got my eyesight back! And you're far uglier than I remember!
Oh, thank you.
The Crimson Raiders in Sanctuary! This place is full of nothing but murderers or jerkbags! Like that Hammerlock dude!
I'm standing right here, dude. Now that Liarsburg is cleared, I might as well turn on the main power. This town's full of things that may be of use to a go-getting slayer of men like yourself.
Minion, roll out!
I see our fearless leader Jack is looking for you. Charming fellow, isn't he? Spouts drivel about
Yeah.
No, Captain. Anyone in Liarsburg? I see no reason that wild bully men... place, disrespecting the memories of the former townsmen. If you could clear the town up, that would be most genuine.
The objectives on your HUD pertain to your active mission. You can change your active mission by using the mission log in your active device.
Wow. Shoot him in the head!
That's one area free of bully mongs.
This would be an even greater achievement if anyone in Liarsburg was still alive to celebrate your victory, but still,
On
well
class.
done!
I work myself to the bone so you can get yourself an education and you sleep through it. Lord Jesus, give me strength. If you can't give me a functional demonstration of a Mandelbrot set when you get home, I martin your high. My math teacher said, if you don't
150.
understand, ask me. There are no stupid questions. Where a guy in my class quickly responded, is that so? Do you cut your toenails with a chainsaw? A kid mocked me when I said, don't do that. I started to yell at him and he said, no man, that's a song. He then spontaneously came up with a rap song called Don't Do That and his friends started making beats. I was no longer mad. Spanish class in high school. 2 guys who grew up in Spanish-speaking families were goofing off at the back of class. One guy says that he can stand the weight of another person standing on his stomach, and the other guy, who was probably just shy of 200 pounds, doesn't believe him. So the first guy gets on the ground in the back of class, and the other guy gets up and stands on his stomach. The teacher sees this, and immediately yelled at the guy on the ground to get back into his seat. Without missing a beat, he says, "I can't. He's standing on me." The other guy doesn't move because he wasn't yelled at. Meanwhile, the teacher continues to be upset that the guy on the ground isn't listening to her. How the hell could you talk with 200 pounds standing on you? With your mouth.
Most efficacious! Bullymongs will think twice about raiding peaceful cities in the future. Hopefully.
Redditors who rode the bus to and from school. What was your most memorable moment on the school bus? Leroy. High school. We named our bus driver Leroy 1996. Before Leroy Jenkins. This ride or die motherfucker would not speak. He pulled up in his bus, opened the swing arm, glared at us, waited, closed the swing arm, waited. Once we were seated, he would drive. Not a word. Ever. We drank. We smoked. What finally broke him was a fight. Leroy pulled his bus over and got out of his seat. Standing in the aisle, Leroy said, "That's enough." The entire bus went silent. Leroy was the man. Oh man, I had one of those too. His name was Martin, and I'll be damned if would be calling him Martin, never Marty or any other variation. He just had a face that said, "Don't fuck up, or I'll be dropping you at the police station." Hardly ever spoke. We had senior kids setting off smoke bombs and fireworks on the bus every fucking year for a month before, and a month after Halloween. A smoke bomb even landed on me and burned my skirt through once, when the bus drivers told them off. They used to just swear in that, like they owned the place. One day we had a bus driver who just drove the bus to the police station when that shit started, and a few of the kids who were throwing the fireworks got on when they got taken off the bus by police. The buses had CCTV too, so they couldn't even deny it. I was so glad when my older sister started driving, and I could get this with her instead of going on the bus. I had a bus driver who would purposely speed up when going over speed bumps, but the kids could catch up. He got fired eventually for running into some garbage cans. At Kids Park, our after-school program for kids whose parents worked late. They had a van they would use when picking up on small trips. Every time we went somewhere, we would always go hit a dip in the road a few blocks away from. Every time on a road, she used to hit it a little hard, and we got some serious air in the back. One day a kid chipped his tooth. Because of how violent the impact was, that was the end of it. Who knows? The kid chipped his tooth on the ceiling. I have two stories. In middle school, my bus once caught on fire a block away from the school. It was a tiny one, was enough to call the firefighters. We all piled up and watched them do their thing. They brought the second bus, which also caught on fire. Eventually, we were brought a third bus 30 minutes later. This was during the winter, and we weren't allowed to walk back to the school because of safety reasons. Never understood why it was more safe to have kids standing outside in winter next to a bus on fire than to walk them a block back to the school. The other time I was in first grade, my bus driver was a crazy nice guy. He knew us all. One day my aunt, who always picked me up, wasn't there at the stop. He said that I could stay on the bus and we would drive back after the route. Maybe she was just late. We drive back, and she still wasn't there. So he asked me which house was mine. He drove us there, and parked his bus. We rang the bell a bunch, and threw small rocks at her window. Nothing. Her car was there though, so it was very weird. My friend's mom drove by and saw us. She offered to take me to her house, so I could call my parents, and stay there for a while, even though it was their birthday. Bus driver left and said, "Don't worry, she's probably just asleep." Turns out she was eternally asleep, and had a brain aneurysm earlier in the day. I'll never forget that day on that nice driver though, who wanted to make sure I was safe before he left. He even made sure to look out for me for the rest of the year. Great guy. When I was in 6th grade, I moved from a really small town, where I could walk to school every day, to a much larger one, where I had to ride the bus. I was having trouble finding my way around the school the first week, and ended up running very late to catch the bus at the end of the day. I was already beating myself up about the fact that I was going to have to call my parents who would have to leave work early to pick me up. But when I got outside, the bus was pulled right up to the doors waiting for me. The bus driver knew I had been on the bus that morning, and verified with my brother that I was supposed to get on the bus to go home, so he waited. I know it seems really insignificant, but with all the stress and anxiety I was feeling trying to settle into a new house, new city, and a new school, it made a lasting impression on me. Thank you, Ron. Once while picking up a kid, a dog got on the bus and everyone went nuts and started petting it. The driver eventually shooed it away. One time this kid Dana, who looked identical to Donkey Lips from Salute Your Shore, just look it up, was there to drink an entire room temperature 2-liter bottle of Coke before we got to his stop. This kid shut the entire bottle down like an absolute champion. At almost the instant his face could form a smug grin of satisfaction from a job well done, he proceeded to barf a borderline fountain of foamy sticky soda all over 2 dozen terrified kids on the bus. It's as if his entire stomach was filled with rolls of Mentos, which was possible considering the candy was at its commercial peak at the time. I mean, the force of this thing could have put out a house fire. His arch reached over like 4 rows of seats, and was sprayed wildly back and forth like a diabetic sprinkler system as he struggled to rein control from this carbonated demonic nightmare. The bus driver had to stop the bus to attend to the frightened children, and made a short but sincere effort to pacify those poor souls caught in ground zero with government great Peter Pan. I've never seen anything quite like it, and I'm afraid I may never again. Well done, Dad.
You'll be able to ride the elevator.
To cops dressed in SWAT gear riding the bus with us. A man had shot and killed 4 people in our neighborhood. The scene apparently wasn't secure yet or something, so they cops had to ride with us, while the driver dropped us off. Holy crap. Where did you live? Afghanistan. One time our bus hit a car in a roundabout. Guy we hit was completely at fault. He must have not understood the turning radius of a bus or something. We were close to school, and our bus driver was well, I got to deal with it. So we got off the bus and walked to school. I don't really know what a bus driver should do in this scenario. You shouldn't really just leave it with, but you obviously can't leave the scene. Probably would be best to get another bus out there. It was the late 70s. I think I was in 7th grade. Our bus driver was a very cool guy, everyone called him. The bus was an old one with a 6-shift and clutch. Last day of school, Animal drives the bus to a nearby park, and instructs all of us to the back of the bus. We all pile up in the last 3 or 4 rows of seats, and he revs the engine and pops the clutch. The guy was popping wheelies in a school bus. Rumor has it, he was banging the girl's gym teacher too. Good times. Not sure why this stuck with me, but this was during the cooler months, that you would just crack the windows a bit to get fresh air.
I'm going to kill Captain Flint, then I'm going to end this.
By kicking it back and forth. I kicked it one time, and it went out the window.
So I can go to sleep and then probably wake up
it could barely slide through on the side. It flew back into the bus 7 windows down, also through a window that was barely open enough to have it fit through. Hit a guy in the face. Was extremely bizarre. First day of my freshman year, a girl sitting across from me showed off her nipple ring. I always sat near the back of the bus from then on. I had a really big crush on this guy. I was staring longingly at him through the mirror above the bus driver, like dead-on creeper staring. Then, he pointed or motioned towards me or something, and I suddenly realized he can see me staring at him, OMG, and felt like the stupidest person on earth. I was like a damn cat thinking I can see him in the mirror, but he can't see me drooling at him. Some kid in the back of the bus was being harassed by his bully. My school district didn't really do shit about bullies. The kid being bullied was sitting free to a seat with his legs in the aisle, and the bully was sitting by one of his friends, in the aisle across from the kid he was messing with. The bully decided to start pushing the kid's leg. Before it was verbal, but now it was physical. Kid told bully to stop. Bully mocked him, and did it again. Kid then punched the bully in the nose, breaking it and causing this huge amount of blood to leak from it. By now the bus had stopped at some bus stop. The kid gets his stuff, and gets off at the bus stop that's a few ahead of his. The second he's off, he starts running and going a different route to his house. The bus driver was unaware of what happened until someone yelled for the bus driver to call someone, because the bully's nose wouldn't stop bleeding. So she calls someone, while the bully is calling his mom's phone. So we get the police to show up, his mom. Other kids have called their parents, because at this point we've been at a standstill for 30 plus minutes. And the principal, we don't know who called the police. So they, along with the principal, are asking who did it and to confess. And we are all, like we don't know. Of course we did know, but why would we tell on our hero? The principal and police are talking, and they think the kid is still on the bus. We then say, oh, he got off, we don't know where he went, or who he was. The principal and police look at the bus driver who shrugs, because she didn't realize what was going on until it was too late. We spent 2 hours on that hot bus because of it, but I couldn't even be mad. My middle school bus was wild.
We've hijacked the
Teachers
train
of
that
Ribbit.
runs through the
What
dusk.
parent-teacher meeting
If all goes
was the
well,
most
we can get
memorable?
to Sanctuary in a day's time.
I used to teach high school art. The administration
Hyperion
had this
hasn't
idea
diverted any
to
troops
have
from
an
the
evening
UK
where we
to
all
the
set
sewers,
up
and
tables and
thousands of
parents
our
went through their kids' schedules. And
Well,
had a
I'm going to
sort of
defeat the
speed
fourth
dating
boss,
parents
which is
slash
going to
teacher
be
conference setup.
those
We
two.
had to bring packets of work for any kid.
Then I'm going to
That was
end
failing
it
to
after I
trust the
complete
parents
the
to
side
give to their
quest.
kids.
Some of them.
Set up teacher meetings
Ah,
individually
shit.
if needed.
She was a
Being
lieutenant in
that
the
I
Crimson
taught,
Raiders,
not
the
a lot of kids
anti-Hyperion
were failing,
resistance.
unless they
I'd be
just
very
didn't
interested to
go
know
to
what became of
class.
her.
So
If
it
you
was
could
a
find the rest of
mind-numbingly
those
boring
Oreo
4
dolls,
hours
I'd
for
be
me
more
as
than
no
happy
one.
to pay you.
Except a couple of sweet students stopped by to chat. The very last block of the evening, a mom and dad just dropped into the folding chairs in front of my table. They both had arms full of makeup packets and they both just looked so defeated. The mom looked at me with tears in her eyes and just asked, what does my kid do wrong in your class? I was so surprised by her question, because I honestly adored her son. He was one of my favorite students. He completed every project on time and had a great personality. He constantly had me and the rest of the class in stitches. He was always the first to volunteer to help me out with any setup or cleanup, and went out of his way to say hello to me, even on days he didn't have my class. I took great joy in telling his parents how he was an absolute bright spot in my day and watch a little bit of the sadness fall from their shoulders before they left for the night. When the student came in the next day, he gave me a giant hug and told me thank you for saying all the nice things about him. I told him that I didn't say anything that wasn't true, and that I hoped he treated every teacher the same way he treated me. He laughed a little and said he would work on it. When I checked his grades at the end of the semester, he was working hard to pull up all of his grades. By the end of the year, he passed nearly all of his classes. I'm not a teacher, but a parent. But I want to share this story. In 2015, my husband was shot and killed during what we presume to be a car crash. This happened toward the beginning of the year. I called the school to tell them 2 of my 3 kids wouldn't be at school for a week in order to take time off to breathe. My youngest was a baby, so they were very supportive.
Please return the
Came
echoes
to
to me
the
whenever you are
funeral,
capable of doing
brought food by my house, and came to visit the kids. When the kids went back to school, they came back with tons of handmade sympathy cards that the teachers had their students make. They also provided therapy via the psychologist at the school. Anyway, the months are passing by, and we are getting back to normal routine when in December I get a call saying they need to meet with me. The kids are getting good grades, so I'm wondering if there is some kind of behavioral issue going on. When I got there though, they provided us with Christmas gifts that were collected from the teachers and students. I wasn't in a bad situation financially, but still the gesture meant a lot. So, not a teacher, but as a parent, that was my most memorable parent-teacher meeting. I had a busy, well-known doctor bringing the nanny to the parent-slash-teacher conference. Whenever I spoke directly to the mother, she would say to the nanny, are you getting all this? Because you are the one that needs to be paying attention. By the time I get home, I don't want to have to deal with any of this. I had a student who was a bit of a troublemaker. He liked to mess around a lot, and it got to the point it was interfering with lessons. We have a meeting with his parents and all his teachers, normal at my school, just to see what was up, and if there were any strategies the parents were using at home that could help us out. The entire time the dad just keeps asking us to confirm that there's something wrong with his child. No sir, he's just acting like a regular 12-year-old boy. Turns out the parents were in a messy divorce after dad was having an affair with a much younger lady. He will react to that, and probably becomes messy KING asterisk from the kid. We signed him up for a bunch of sports and clubs to keep him at school longer and make him productive friends. We have a half day where parents sign up for conferences and teachers hang around until 8 with a break. I was catching up on work in my classroom and eating a sandwich during my break, and this mom comes in wearing some pink yoga pants and a big parka. She looks frazzled as hell and immediately starts going on about how she is sorry for her daughter and how she doesn't do anything at home, and basically going on about how bad her kid is. And I'm just not saying anything. Just listen. Then she starts going on about the curriculum, how it's inadequate, and so on. But it's nothing substantial or pointed. She's just bitching about her kid, and the school, and whatever else more. Like Iris and sort of therapist and her kid's teacher. She's going on about the math curriculum, and my next conference shows up at their scheduled time. The lady goes, "Sorry, thank you for taking the time," and leaves. I didn't say a word the whole time. I had no idea who she was. I had no idea who her kid was. It was really bizarre.
It's a living horse that
My
actually happens to
first
be made
year
of.
of teaching, I had a mother who pretty much ignored everything I was saying, and assumed it was all bad. I opened with that. Your daughter has shown some excellent work in class this semester. She replied without doubt, she can't do anything. When I tried to assure her she had in fact done well with proof, she dismissed it and said she will never be as good as her today. I then offered some advice for how to improve her already decent grade, and a mother replies that if I was running her from that point on everything I said, she literally added another month onto her daughter's grounding time. I ended up summing up as quick as possible to try and save her daughter spending the rest of her life grounding. I was a percussion instructor for a high school marching band. I had a new student who wanted to try out for the drum line. When I asked him what he wanted to try out for, he said I played snare. Okay, he must have played snare at his old school before he transferred. So I had him play some rudiments and rolls on to see if he actually had any chance. He was like, no, it wasn't good. I gave him a simple sight reading piece I had written and gave him a few minutes to look it over before he played it. He pointed at me and said, "What is that?" He was pointing at a set of triplets. He was a sophomore. There is no way he was a drummer in band since 6th grade and hadn't been taught what a triplet is. I told him flat out, "Look, Jude, you don't have what it takes. Your chops are just bad, and you don't even know what a triplet is. You're way behind everyone else. And if I stuck you on the drum line, you would be holding them back. I can use you in the front ensemble, but I can't use you on the drum line."
Don't do it until I'm
He
out of
gets
the
all
way.
mad and starts in with some attitude, and I asked him to leave the band room.
That
The
could
next
cause
day he
serious
comes back
damage
with
to
his
me.
mother.
So don't do
She
that.
told me
I'm
that
just
her son
standing
is
here
going to be
to
on
show
the
you the
drum
area
line,
you should
and
shoot
not only that,
after
but he
I
is
move
going to be
away,
the drum
which I
captain
will once I'm
because he
totally
is the
convinced you
best
understand
drummer
the
in the
instructions
school.
that
When
I
I tried
relayed
to
to
explain
you.
why that wasn't the
Do
case,
you
she interrupted me
understand?
and started
I know
screaming
it's
about
kind of
how I was a
complicated,
racist
but
and
just stick
didn't
with me,
want him
okay?
on the drum line because the son was black. I actually laughed when she said that because she said it in front of one of the drummers on the line who was black. He also laughed when I tell you she called me every name under the sun. I mean it. I think she made up some new ones too. The band director had to call the resource officer and have her escorted out of the building because she thought this woman was about to physically attack me. She got in my face, nose to nose, and screamed at the top of her lungs for about a solid 6 or 7 minutes. It was surreal. Afterwards, my students were like, "What did you say to her?" I wish I had said something to her that would have warranted that. I probably would have felt better about it. That was my first and last year. Never again. We expelled a kid who destroyed a classroom and office totaling about $4,000 worth of damage. He assaulted 4 staff members who were trying to contain him without touching him. No one wants to lose their job over this kid. One of them required medical attention, and he threatened to accuse his teacher of sexual and physical abuse. During the meeting with his parents, we were told that all he needed from us was love. I was the child in the situation, but we were all in the conference and my dad stood up and called me.
Alright, listen, that'll be it for right now. And because I'm really tired and I need to get some sleep before I go somewhere else. 2:22 in the morning. And I'm just gonna end this right here, and I will see you guys in the morning.
The teacher obviously didn't believe my dad, because I was a normal student who just likes to draw and play on my phone.